Welcome back to the Balling Sisters, and yes, we are back again, and today we are talking about Brendan Rodgers and the Foxes. The latest thing which I am coming to know is that Brendan Rodgers is teetering towards his Foxes exit. The hierarchy is meeting, and there is a huge possibility in this international break that Brendan Rodgers might be given his marching orders. Why has this situation come? Let me tell you about that. First, they have lost 6 matches on the bounce. 2 of them which have been of big score lines, one being a 5-2 and one being a 6-2 drubbing to Spurs, which has happened just last week. Number 2, when they were playing Chelsea was for a majority of the game with 10 men, and yet Leicester was not able to beat them and they lost that game. There has been no formations, and there has been change of formations from Brendan Rodgers going into an inverted wing formation. So that is a big problem, and the team has yet not accustomed. Number 4, the finances has been pretty tight because of the amount of spending which Leicester has done in the last summer. Even though this season they have lost a couple of good players, but the money which they are going to be getting in is going to be coming into play next year, but not right now. Maybe in the winter, but not right now. The only spending which they have done is for about 15 million pounds, which they have done this summer, the gone summer. Because of that, the team has remained the same, more or less remained the same in the same for the past couple of years, where their performance has been they've been pretty good, but then unfortunately the performance now is not up to the mark. And the chairman and the board of directors are right now in process of looking at different prospects coming into Leicester City and stabling the ship. Now, why is this another big problem is that right now Leicester City are behind their arch rivals Nottingham Forest in the league table as well. Now, coming on to the major factors, if Brendan Rodgers is sacked, his severance package is going to be about 10 million because of the contract which he signed last year. The third thing is it is going to put Leicester City into a very, very tricky situation because of the financial fair play rule which Leicester City plans to be inside, because they've been in and around the European Championship as well, Europa or the Conference League. Because of that, Leicester City is slightly on the back foot, and also there is stadium dev which is happening for the Leicester City and the Foxes fans. So that is another aspect we have to take into account why Leicester City was not spending this summer. Now, if Brendan Rodgers is sacked, who are the managers in line to take that job? So the first person who comes in line is Sean Dyche. He has not been working since the time he was sacked by Burnley. So hence Sean Dyche is one of the names which is going to be there in that category. Number 2 is Mauricio Pochettino. He is also out of job since the time PSG had sacked him this July, and he is also out on the look. But he was on the verge of taking the Manchester United job, but then he didn't get that, and also for the Chelsea job as well. Those were the 2 big high-profile jobs which are there. Even though there might be in the coming days, there might be other jobs which might get vacant. There is also a possibility of Allegri losing Max Allegri in Juventus. He might also lose that aspect. Now, the third name which is also coming in, and which is the favourites among the 3 managers which I've just said, is Thomas Frank from Brentford. He has been there, and Brentford has been performing exceptionally. So Thomas Frank is the number 1 contender if Leicester City sack Brendan Rodgers. He is right there in the list, but luring Thomas Frank from Brentford will not be an easy job for the Leicester City management to pull him out of Brentford and putting him into Leicester City. Even though they are performing atrociously right now, they are hoping that his tactical skills and his analysis which he's going to be bringing, and the analytics aspect which Brentford has been working on for a long period of time, will be one of the major factors which Leicester City now wants to progress. And the new way forward in the Premier League is analytics, and Brentford is a very prime example for it. Number fourth name in this and not so favorite is Bielsa. Leeds United former manager was sacked and last year, and he's not taken up a job. He knows what he wants from his players. He is pretty strict and the team plays in a very specific way, and I honestly speak, Bielsa is a brilliant manager. Unfortunately, it didn't work out after a period of time when Leeds United had a bad tenure with the certain amount of results. But the results which Bielsa did bring them from Championship to the Premier League and making them survive, nobody else, in my opinion, would have done that apart from Bielsa, because he knows football and he is one of them. And the least favorite candidate right now, in my eyes, is Rafa Benitez, who is out of job, and he was last the manager of Everton before the reins were handed over to Frank Lampard. And Everton are slowly and steadily progressing, but then there is a lot to be seen. But Rafa Benitez is a proven Premier League manager. He has managed Liverpool, he's been an interim boss for Chelsea, now Everton, and he has an ample amount of experience of managing people. And his style of play may suit Leicester as well. And the last and the final which is there, maybe, which would be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has been out of job since the last December, if I'm not wrong, last year December, and since the time his sacking which happened with Manchester United. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is also named in the mix. He would like to come back into management, but will Leicester City give him that opportunity, because he already had tried with a weaker team like Cardiff City and it didn't work out pretty well for him. So will Leicester City want to hand him a reins again, is a thing for the management and the Leicester City management to decide. So that is what I have for Brendan Rodgers, and I hope this news will come out, if not now, but pretty soon in the coming days, that the axe would be falling on Brendan Rodgers. It is not about now, it is just about when is it going to be happening. So on that note, thank you very much for joining in. I'll be back again. Do like, share, subscribe, enable those notifications, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Adios guys.